Washington, Reuters. The Federal Reserve is expected to keep interest rates unchanged on Wednesday, but solid economic growth combined with rising inflation are likely keep it on track for another 2 hikes this year, even as President Donald Trump has ramped up criticism of its push to raise rates. The U.S. central bank so far this year has increased borrowing costs in March and June, and investors see additional moves in September and December. Policymakers have raised rates 7 times since December 2015. The Fed will announce its decision on Wednesday at 2 p.m. EDT, 1800 hours o'clock GMT. No press conference is scheduled and only minor changes are anticipated compared with the Fed-Euro trademark's June policy statement, which emphasized accelerating economic growth, strong business investment and rising inflation. Euro or the Euro trademark VE got expectations pretty much where they want them, Euro, said Michael Farrelly, an economist with JP Morgan. Euro or they may need to finesse how they word the language on inflation, but I think the ultimate message is going to be the same. Euro. The U.S. economy grew at its fastest pace in nearly 4 years in the second quarter as consumers boosted spending and farmers rushed shipments of soybeans to China to beat retaliatory trade tariffs, Commerce Department data showed on Friday. The Fed-Euro trademark's preferred measure of inflation increased at a 2.0% pace in the second quarter, the data also showed. Economists expect data later on Tuesday to show prices in June were 2.0% higher than a year earlier, matching the gain in May. That would mean 2 straight months that inflation has hit the Fed-Euro trademark's 2% target rate after undershooting it for 6 years. Trump criticism to be ignored. Economic growth has been buoyed by the Trump administration's Euro trademark's package of tax cuts and government spending, and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell has said overall the economy is in a really good place. Euro. The unemployment rate stands at 4.0%, lower than the level seen sustainable by Fed policymakers. The central bank is expected to continue to raise rates through 2019, but policymakers are keenly debating when the so-called neutral rate, euro, the sweet spot in which monetary policy is neither expansive nor restrictive, will be hit. Rate setters are closely watching for signs that inflation is accelerating and are expecting economic growth to slow as the fiscal stimulus fades. They also remain wary of the potential effects of a protracted trade war between the United States and China, which could push the cost of goods higher and hurt company investment plans. The Fed-Euro trademark's policy path will see interest rates peak at much lower levels than in previous economic cycles. Even so, Trump, in a departure from usual practice that presidents do not comment on Fed policy, said he was worried growth would be hit by higher rates. Administration officials played down the presidential Euro trademark's comments, saying he was not seeking to influence the Fed. On the campaign trail, Trump criticized Powell, a Euro trademark's predecessor as Fed chair, Janet Yellen, for keeping interest rates too low. Trump appointed Powell and Fed Governor Randall Quarles, and he has 3 other nominees to the rate-setting committee awaiting Senate confirmation. Almost all have been seen as mainstream in their attitude to economic policy. Economists say Trump has little influence over Fed policy beyond the personnel changes he has already made. Trump, a Euro trademark's tweets are a far cry from the 1970s when then-President Richard Nixon told the Fed chairman to kick rate setters a euro or in the rump a euro to keep rates low until after an election. That stoked inflation and eventually strengthened the Fed-Euro trademark's independence, something that has become even more entrenched since. Euro. Powell is obviously someone who values the Fed-Euro trademark's independence. Euro, said Paul Ashworth, economist with Capital Economics. Euro. I don't Euro trademark expect them to change tack because of political pressure. Euro.